Hello, it's a chilly fall morning here, and I'm going to start a new series for me. I'm experimenting with some online shopping systems. I've done a lot of work with Woocommerce, but I wanted to dabble with the starter plans with Square and with Shopify. Like you, maybe I get inundated with these kind of offers, and I generally throw them away. But Shopify is a great system. Square's a decent company as well, and sometimes for some projects or some folks starting a new thing or starting something very specific, any one of these plans might be easier, better, cheaper, less expensive for them to get set up and started with, as opposed to going with Woocommerce. Woocommerce can be a great thing to start with as well. And so I wanted to dig into these and get to know them a little better, especially from a starting point. Partly also to compare and better understand new ways or alternate ways to approach WooCommerce with setup and getting people started with it too. I've done a lot with WooCommerce, but I'm for whatever works. And different things work for different people, so I wanted to get some first impressions going with some of these and give it a try myself. Now, Square has what they call a free plan. Doesn't cost a monthly fee if I understand the ad right, and maybe I do and maybe I don't at all. That's one of the things to find out. But they take a cut from their online store from whatever it is that you sell. So if you're selling a large quantity of stuff, that may not make sense. A fixed fee might be better. But if you're just starting out and just selling a few things, it could be just fine. So I wanted to give this a go. And this isn't any special link or anything like this. It's from the mailer, so they may be tracking the sell online. Typo there. So it's square.com/go/sell online. This is not a special link for me, not an affiliate link, nothing like that. Just straight off the mailer they sent me. And it looks like it redirects a little bit to something called squareup.com. And get started for free. Launch for $0. And they mentioned the transaction fees. Looks like they changed the color of the highlight on their own webpage. Interesting. And then they kind of also show you some different plans from there. So you can get started for free, get a website builder. It syncs with Square point of sale. So if you've already got a Square point of sale device, that could be useful. Pickup, local delivery, and shipping options out of the box with the free plan. Something called Sell on Social, multiple payment types, Google Pay, Apple Pay, Afterpay, Cash App Pay, and Square Pay for faster checkout. All sounds good, especially if they're quickly or easy to integrate. Then they've got a different plan. Has a monthly fee. Get everything in the free plan. Some expanded customization options. Self-serve QR code ordering. Creating customer accounts. That might be an important one. Personalized ordering, advanced item settings, except PayPal, and you get your own free domain. So there's probably a domain that you don't necessarily get to choose too much with the free plan. And it might be something like, I'm not sure what it'll look like yet, but it might be something like my shop or brettshop.squareup.com versus over here in the plus you could use your own domain, so it could be brettshop.com. That's not my actual thing, I'm just making some examples. And then an even more expensive one with lower processing rates. It's 2.6% plus 30 cents per transaction, and real-time shipping rates so that calculations are done immediately and not adjusted later or something. So anyway, like I said before, I'm mostly looking to check out the free starting place. The $29 or the $79 plan are things that I'd be typically looking at in a a Woo setup kind of deal. So I'm going to fill out this form real quick and then resume the video in just a second. Okay, so I made it through the personal information sign-up stuff, name, password, email. Didn't require a phone number, haven't had to do a credit card or anything like that yet. That may or may not come up later. And it's what type of merchant best describes you. And let's see, I do have an LLC. I'm not sure if I want to do that for the free plan or not. Keep this simple, and I'm going to go with individual. And would you like to appear on customer receipts? And go with worky stuff, the stuff that works. This case, I'm actually looking to do something that does a little bit of all of this, and maybe that's a specialty shop. So I don't see an overall. I'm not going to be doing art, photo, or film, but I am going to be doing clothing, accessories, some electronics in particular. So maybe merchandise, miscellaneous goods might be better, other retail, miscellaneous goods. This is probably one of those things where it might help me get found in Square's system if somebody's doing a search. So if I had a more niche sort of thing, it might help there, but I'm probably going to be looking to send traffic to this myself, and again, it's just for experimentation purposes. I'll figure out if I want to do niches later, and sometimes making the mistakes in these tests are a good way to figure out how to do it better in other ways, or what questions to ask next time. Tell us what you're selling. Now, this is interesting. They offer services, memberships, donations, tickets, menu items for like food or physical items. And that looks good to me. I suspect or wonder if it's possible to come back and change these later. I'm mostly looking to do physical items, but I'm very interested in some of the, for other reasons, services, tickets in particular, even donations, memberships. I work with lots of different groups that do all this. I haven't done a restaurant menu website in a few years. It's probably been 4 or 5 years. I used to do some work for restaurants that were co-located with Hilton hotels. They took that all in-house, and so I haven't done that type of stuff recently. And let's see, allow pickup, ship items, on-demand delivery through couriers. Now, this allows self-serving ordering. I think that was something that you had to could only do if you were paying for the $29 plan. So they might be trying to upsell me a little bit here. I'm going to pick that just to see. And I might do some local delivery. I'll just click them all. I'm curious. Single shopping page, shoppable Instagram page, full website plus online store. Again, I'm not sure if there's an upsell in here or not. So I think I'm just going to go a simple shopping page to start with. And they're building the store. Whereas according to the link, we're in the onboarding phase at the moment. And it's just kicked over into Weebly. I didn't realize that Weebly and Square were connected services, news to me. It's been quite a while since I've done anything, dabbled with Weebly. And it's been a couple years since I've actually dug into a Square site too. So you could hire a designer for starting at $199, or you can continue to DIY some stuff. Let's see, kind of looks like we're already into the site a little bit. Edit the site, domains, single items, site categories, coupons, gift cards, orders, fulfillment, apps, settings, customer accounts, sales tax, etc. So there's lots of things in the bigger menu over here. It looks like they're guiding me though through some steps here in the bigger picture on the right, and so I don't want to get lost in the weeds trying to do things out of order. I'll follow their advice through the path. 0 out of 9 completed at the moment. So watch the tutorial for 2 minutes. Let's give that a try and get some reactions along the way. Oh, and they're building the website again, even though I thought I was watching a tutorial. This guy takes you through the steps. Yeah, that's a lot of things spinning and loading.
Square Online Builder Overview. Welcome to Square Online. Today, we're going to run through the main navigation of the new online store builder. Before we go into detail, there's 3 main areas to your builder. On the left, you have your edit panel, where you can add, update, and reorder your site however you like. This is where most of your creating is done. Then to the right, you have a review of how the site looks, and you can also make edits to your text.
Typical or
At the
standard
top,
there.
You have the toolbar that lets you switch between mobile and desktop view, and add entirely new sections, pages, items, and categories. Okay, as an example, let's see how easy it is to change the top area of your page, or what we call the main banner. Simply click on the section you want to edit, and you'll see the panel on the left dynamic.
Okay, so they call it the main banner. Sometimes we call it a hero section, or the top of the website even, header. These keywords like that sometimes are important just to understand the ethos of any given system. They've probably done a lot of marketing to figure out what do people, normal people, or maybe even people that aren't designers call a thing, or what will they understand.
Dynamically changes for you. I can go up to layout and choose from a range of pre-designed formats. I like this one. Now let's try to adjust our featured items. I want to add a few more items that have been selling really well in store.
They haven't showed us how to put any items in, but they're talking about featured items right off the bat.
Or add new items. I want to add these 3. Great. Now hit save. And you'll see that your featured items are already being updated. But what if I want to reorder it? Well, you just go back to your page sections, and you can easily move it up or down the page. Next, let's add a section. Sections are content blocks that you can add and customize, like your business location, contact form, anything. No code required. For example, let's
This
add
video seems to be a little bit out of order. I'm getting it in general, but
like before, I have a number of editing options that appear on the left. I can even
don't totally understand why it's in the order that it's in. So if you've never worked with this type of stuff and are confused right away, it wouldn't surprise me. And since we all have lots and lots and lots of experience shopping online, you may be glomming onto this type of stuff too. So here's all the different pages that might need to be created or need to be edited, and what they call them, or might call them based on the categories we set or something.
With flexible layouts you can control. Hit preview to view your changes before you publish. Use it a few times, and it'll feel like clockwork.
Okay. Wow. And so after all that, it looks like I'm now looking at my default shop. Worky Stuff is the name I put in there. I have no products loaded. And and so there's just not a whole lot there. This would appear to me to be some kind of mobile view. They mentioned there's a desktop view and a mobile view. And although the buttons they showed in the video are not available to me to click, everything's sort of frozen up all of a sudden. Not sure what's happening there. Can I click on... Not allowing me to click on anything here, so maybe that customization is one of the things you have to pay for. Kind of hard to build if you can't build. Or maybe that was a part of the tutorial, I'm not sure. So, all this spinning stuff feels very slow to me. I'm used to working in systems that are a lot faster than that, and sometimes I even complain about my own systems not being fast enough, but it is what it is. So let's see. We've got some different colors recommended in here, and I generally I kind of like all of these. I suspect some people might associate these with this specific type of website, so if there's a whole bunch of these out in the wild, then people might recognize this type of thing. And that may or may not brand your shopping site, but in this case it's a freebie, a free shopping thing, and I'm not going to worry about it too much. Just keep in mind that other people, customers, might recognize your site as a freebie themselves. Okay, so I click the style preview, and I can scroll this now. Okay, so we've got what appears to be the home page, and then we've got shop all stuff. Again, I don't have anything loaded in here, so they've got placeholders for different items and categories, and that's fine. What happens, excuse me, if I click customize now? So use a domain I own elsewhere, use a Square subdomain. So I'm guessing this is going to need to upgrade to a paid plan. So this, if you do this, you're going to have to pay the $29 a month. I don't want to pay $29 a month. And it'd be a .square.site thing, and that's fine with me. So, I guess I hit change to save it. Your domain has been changed. I don't know what it was before, but that's what it is now. Oh, now we're back into the tutorial stuff. View a list of site pages, select a page to edit. That's nice. Add pages. Okay, this is more helpful now. Wish they'd done this right from go, and maybe done the video a little later. Pick some fonts and styles. Add sections, photos, text to build a website page. So there we have it. Now, so they had something called a main banner. We've got the header. Not sure I want to change the header much. Eventually I might want to add some of these items, some icons. Let's get into the main banner. I'm curious as to what kind of artwork options they provide here, or if you have to provide your own. So, add an image, 3 photos, sounds good. Oops. So going with the worky stuff. And let's see if I can get something generic. I don't want an image too busy for the main thing. And curious as to where they're getting the images. They're calling them free. They must own the rights to it. And by extension, if I use it, I would own the rights to it through them. But if I move to some other system, that doesn't mean I can copy these images down. It's from Unsplash. So if I needed to get, if I like these images and wanted them elsewhere, I'd have to go to unsplash.com to get them. Kind of like this because it's got a nice flat color. Kind of like the scrunched up paper and the airplane. To me, that indicates two things didn't work and one thing might have, although that's kind of a bent up airplane. Maybe I'll switch that out. Kind of gives me an idea. Sometimes too, you can shoot your own images. So I don't necessarily like this, but I could make a paper airplane. I could scrunch up a couple balls of paper and then do a pose to change something there. Let's see, how do I get rid of the image? Delete. Pretty straightforward. Maybe I need a different search term. Trying to capture an emotion of something that worked or success here. But success with stuff. Kind of like that umbrella one. Although that's kind of wide and maybe not as good for mobile, but that's not too bad either. Might be difficult to position stuff around. Let's get back to that umbrella one. See how that fits. Yeah. Let's see. They mentioned before in the video, they got the desktop view or the mobile view. I'd recommend build it in the mobile view first and go from there. And let's see if we can edit this tagline. So when I hit that button, this did something over here. I thought I would be changing this thing that says live in the moment, but instead it put me in something else. So where does this come from? That must be a headline. Okay. And I can do some things with that headline. So clicking into that, just like clicking into the button takes me to the button editor automatically. So in this case, that is the tagline, but the headline kind of makes more sense as the place to put what I would consider the tagline. Let's give instead of find, we'll put it at get, showing them arriving, as opposed to having to do the work of searching. And how do I change that text, or can I? Links to shop all. Oh, that must be page, shop all, shop now. Doesn't look like I can actually change that text here. Playing around a little bit, and that's a good thing. I'm kind of playing at this point. That's good. I'm not frustrated or lost or confused or any of that good stuff. Anytime you get into a system and you find yourself playing, that means something has been done well enough for you to get lost in the moment and focus on the thing that you need to be doing, building your business, or in this case, building a shop. Okay, so let's see what else we got here in these sections. There's a email newsletter, section title, section. And let's make it 20% off. Now, I'm not sure if this system will actually let me give 20% off for members because I believe that's an upgraded plan. So I might have to set up an email that gives them a discount code, which may or may not be available in the free version either. But that's what I would want to be able to do, something like that right there. If that's possible or not, I don't know. So I might be coming back to edit that later. Okay, payment methods. I haven't set any accounts yet, so I'm not totally sure what to do there. And I don't have social icons for this yet that I'll mess with, but I could. Well, let's take a closer look at that real quick. Social media links. So you could connect things into some accounts. Or do some other things too. So I want to play, but I don't want to get lost in the weeds. Another good sign. So the bottom of this does say powered by Square. To get rid of that, you have to upgrade. And that's fine. You got a choice of white or black, it looks like. Leave it on black. So they mentioned we've got some, this is the home page that we're on right here. We can see the page that we're on based on this. And there's also a shop all page, so let's take a look at that. So that's what the shop all page would look like, and our footer discount mention here is already there. Great. Let's see what an item page, so if they click on an actual item, we don't have one yet, so we need to add an item, something for someone to buy. And let's see what we put in here first. Lavalier microphone set. iPhone. And listed at even $60. I don't remember the description off the top of my head, nor am I even prepared. So this is kind of bringing up some of the questions of things that I would need to do to actually prepare, which is always good. So, at this point, if I've got multiple items, this is going to remind me, well, I should probably have the name of the item in a spreadsheet along with the price, a quick description. I'll need some images somewhere else, and then how I'm going to serve it. But I generally know the topic. Offers 2 different microphones, lapel microphones that clip to your shirt. Collar, oops, if I can spell collar or top with a pin or even, actually it's not a pin, it's a magnetic pin or a clip. And then the receiving unit, called the receiver, plugs into your iPhone to record audio from one mic or both mics at the same time. Includes volume levels, measure input, case serves as a portable battery to recharge. Type. Again, my spelling's a little off. All these things, there's no spell checker in here. There's no, although my browser is catching it, and so I could do a lookup or something like that, but it's not built in, and that's okay. I'm not expecting it to be. So let's hit save, and so this should be my first item, and I don't have an image yet. And my store is apparently not currently accepting orders. And that's fine too, because I'm not ready to sell. Not even sure if I've got a copy of maybe send myself a quick image from my phone to my computer and zap that turkey in there. I've got a video on my phone, but I don't have an actual picture. So let's see, I can step aside real quick and grab a picture. And I can open the case quick enough. Okay, so took a quick picture. Now this is on my iPhone. It's an iPhone 13 Pro, and that's going to mean that this is a monstrous picture in terms of file size. So if I just load this straight from my phone to my computer and into this image, I don't know what size the image will actually be that Square will put in there. Will it be a 10 megabyte image or a 5 megabyte or a 1 megabyte? In my mind, any of those would be too large. And so I don't want that. Let me see. Where do my images go? So, and can I just drag it? So I grab this from my downloads, and I'm trying to put it right on top of this thing. I'm not sure if that's going to allow the image in or if this is going to do some other weird thing. We'll find out and see. It did some other weird thing. Not desirable. There's the image, but it's not loaded into Square. So maybe I need to get back into an editor somehow. Style changes apply to all things on the page. Okay, so checking my pages, I'm in this lavalier item that I'd made, and it's not drag and drop to upload the image, but it does have a couple different things. Whatever the quick edition was, I appear to be deeper into some other thing that's not quick or easy. And again, we've got a long spinning time here. This is not fast in my mind. I'm trying to upload an image and I'm just looking at the spinny circle thing of death. Okay. Try the Photo Studio app. Create studio quality item photos for free on your iPhone. Oh, so they do have an app I could be using as well. Maybe that's what I want, and maybe it isn't. But at this point, I can click to upload, but maybe I can drag it in too. I'm going to try to drag it in one more time. Sometimes I like that, sometimes I don't. Let's see, it might do that weird thing again. Nope, this time it pulled it in, so this was the right place to drag it into. And normally I want more than one picture, more than one angle, and all sorts of other stuff. And now, they didn't provide this to me before, but there's a price and there's a sale price. I'm not looking to make a sale price of this yet. But let's see, it's bugging me that I don't remember how to spell lavalier all of a sudden, but sometimes that happens when I start to make a video. That part of my brain shuts down while the speaking part of my brain kicks in. And it says pickup, delivery, local delivery. There's that self-serve ordering thing again. Some prep time. I definitely wouldn't want people buying it and coming by 5 minutes later. I might not even be around, or the store might be closed. One business day sounds interesting. And stock and SKU, I'm going to wait just a little bit on that. There's also some SEO options down here. But mostly, I'm curious to see what kind of image quality is really showing up. I'm just going to hit save. And there it is. It's not even really framed in the way I want it. I'm not happy with that image. But again, it's a good example of the things that you need to prep. How do you want the first image to look? And what angle? I would probably rotate that or something as well. All sorts of things are coming to me as I see it now. This isn't right or ideal. It's not terrible or bad. It's better than, the image is obviously better than no image, but as I look at it, I want it to look even better than that. And there's the little, it's brand new, so there's little plastic peel-off tabs, but for an image, I might not want those tabs on there. I might want them to see the crystal clear screen. I might want it lit up with a digital output on it too. Things to show that it works. Because we were trying to sell the worky stuff in this situation. So let's see, where else am I? We had that description. We'd seen things mentioning categories, and I haven't yet actually seen where I can put something into a category. I might have missed it, but I would kind of expect that as an option somewhere in here. Maybe it's back in item details. I might have missed it when we had this slow loading spinny thing of death showing up. And okay, do we have a category in here? Fulfillment, stock, variations, modifiers. No category. Physical item. Physical item implies that they might also accept digital items. So if I was selling a book or rights to an image, or maybe even for some of those other things, a membership and putting a video course or training or podcast or something here, that might be possible. Oh, and in that initial editor, there weren't options to bold or highlight things, so I'd kind of like to make a couple things stand out. This is not a stylish thing. This is, my thought is making it informative. I want them to know for sure that it's got 2 lapel microphones. And but I still don't see a spell check option in here. And that's okay. Okay, so let's get out of there for a minute and let's come into category. Maybe we have to add a category before a category can be designated. I'm going to be selling a range of things. So let's set a category for electronics. Don't want to hide it. But I am curious if I can have subcategories or parent categories, because I'd like to have electronics and then microphones and the subcategory. Maybe that's possible, maybe it isn't. That slow spinny thing would wear me out. So, I do see, as I'm typing this, I want this to be a subcategory, select a main category to nest. That's exactly what I want. So I believe as I click this and it turns electronics blue, microphone should be a subcategory now. Great. So now I have categories, microphones and electronics, but there's nothing in them. So how do I add things to a category? Oops. Some more items, footer branding. Layout, color. Not crazy about the lack of color in this layout. Expecting some different things with the choices I made, but maybe I need to go back and change color just to brighten this up a little bit. Okay, I keep thinking that maybe if I turn the right thing on by creating a category, then I'll be able to add a product to the category. Now I've got to choose categories. Perfect. And this is in microphones. I don't know if I have to choose both or not, but I don't want to get my categories too messy. So hopefully, if I have an item in microphones that shows, and people look in electronics, they'll see the microphones default. I don't want to have to click in both. Sometimes that can make it difficult for people to drill or filter things down to find what they're really looking for or interested in, and I don't want to waste their time by clicking everything. So at this point, I'm going to take a preview, see what we've got. The preview kicks off in mobile. If I take it back to the home page, get the stuff that works, you'll notice my home page doesn't show any products, and I've got two things for the 20% sign off. One's in the footer and one's up here, which is sort of weird since there's nothing else on here yet. So, and then there was the get me worky stuff now, which takes me into a category. I've only got the one thing, clicking on that one thing. I can see that my store is not accepting payments yet. Which seems like a pretty important thing to fix. Not that I'm really ready to take payments, but it would be terrible to finish this and not be able to make money off of the things I list. Anyway, I do feel like the homepage needs a little something. Excuse me. And so, remember they said that we could add sections. So we've got this main banner, the newsletter, and then kind of get into the bottom of the site with the footer and the newsletter again. But we want to add a section because that newsletter listing looks funny. So let's add featured menu items or featured items or featured categories. Oh, and then they got membership and all sorts of stuff. So let's instead get a featured item in there. And I think I do want that email sign up first and spaced out. I want them as to know that there's a discount available. That's important. And we have no items that are featured yet, so that's still showing up as nothing. So I do recall that weird out of order video mentioning that you can add some featured items, but since it was out of order and I didn't know other things, I don't know about that now. I think I'm going to add a quick about section in here somewhere. Let's see, how does it allow me to edit it? We must have a title and some text. Let's see, I'm not thinking of a good about thing real quick, but kind of thinking of what my goals are and sharing the stuff that works. Hopefully we'll find some unbelievable prices. Products. These are like new. We tested new products, reviewed them, and we know they work. All you have to do is buy them at a tremendous discount. New price. Okay, now again, I'm not sure. I can do a little bit of editing over here. I don't see the editor here and the live view of what it looks like, but let's see if we can get some kind of color going in here. Or anything. What's this? That's a little better. Do I want it centered? Oh, could add an image. I think I do want to add an image. Okay. Again, trying to capture an emotion. Puppy dog emotion. I want found a great thing emotion. Maybe exactly what I was thinking. They're not terrible. But that's my view, and not necessarily the view of whomever it is that'll be looking at this. Maybe. That was a woman and not a dude. It might be better, I think, but again, I like the pose, just don't like the character for the tone of what I'm going for here. I almost like that, except for it's a little too specific. Okay, easy to get lost in the weeds on images. There we go. That'll work. Okay, and the nice thing is this saves as you put it in there, so I'm not having to save as I go or hit update or anything like that. I do like that. That's not something that happens as much in WordPress. So what does our preview look like now? Broken up. Oh, but my featured stuff isn't showing up. Oh, I still don't have any featured items set. I think I added the section. Oh no, the section got replaced, so I need to add yet another section. So I thought I had it added, so I take that back about the saving thing. Just when I thought I had a thing on here, it wasn't there. And how do I move a featured? Well, can't just drag it. Maybe it's over. So you see here these little 6 little dots. That means I can grab it and move it down. You may already know that. But that changes the order. And in selecting this, now I can choose some items. And all I've got is the one item. And now I do have to hit save. That's okay. Maybe, oh, so here there's a section title. I don't want to call it featured items. That's got a very 1999 sound to it. Deal today's. Work. Okay. Pretty decent. Now, one of the questions I've got, I don't know if I want to publish or not, because this isn't really ready to go live. Page settings, duplicate page. Maybe I can publish it and unpublish it, because I just don't know what that word really means. Your site has been published, so I'm guessing that it does mean it's open that in an incognito window, which means that I'm no longer logged in, and this is what the whole world would see. Get the stuff that works. Okay, so I had a few questions like how big are the images? And you'll notice this is the larger desktop view. I can sort of maybe emulate the mobile view by making this narrow and skinny. Again, although it's in a browser, not on a mobile phone, so that doesn't always necessarily work. But when it is like this, one of my questions is just how big in file size is this image? There was a little bit of delay as things were loading in here, and I'm curious. So, a couple ways I can do this. I can inspect, and maybe that'll tell me something, but I'll probably have to download it and then look at the file size of my own downloads. Sort of depends. Of course, since I'm trying to get the mobile size, there might be two different images, one for mobile and one not. And so, now that I got the inspector up, I'm going to hit it again just to make sure it's zeroed in the right thing. Microphone, pixel. Not helping me, so I'm going to do it the easier way, a little more low tech. And save this image. Oops, I should have just saved it. Didn't mean to save as. So let's save. And then find my Finder window. That was down earlier. Okay, so what do we got here? So it's a webp image. That's good. So, so the image I uploaded was 1.5 megabytes, but they've processed it and done some good things and made that image 38 kilobytes, which is excellent. Should be very fast. I did notice a little bit of a delay when this main image was loading, so I'm kind of curious as to why that was delayed. Sometimes it's because it's the file size or something. That one's probably in the background and a little harder to get at. But if they've done webp with the product image, then I'm sure they've done it with the Unsplash image. So that's all for the very good. Can't do much better than that. I could maybe squeeze that down with some more processing myself, but that's about as good as an experienced human could do as well. So kudos to them for a system doing some good stuff there. Well, I don't want that published yet, though. So how do I unpublish a site is my follow-up question. I'm not even totally sure where or how that happens, or how to get out of this stuff either. View page settings, general SEO. Not what I'm looking for. Maybe exit editor. Definitely don't have stuff listed in the store and people can't check out because I don't have payment stuff connected. Good job, you're putting a setup step. Oh yeah, no, this bad video
Square
again.
Online Builder Overview. Welcome to Square Online. Today, we're going to run through the main navigation of the new online.
You have to hit the escape button to get rid of that for whatever it's worth. There's no button for it, you have to hit the button itself. Guides, preview. Try to exit the editor again. Seems to be stuck in a loop. That's not good. How do I get back to my account management type stuff? This is not where I want to be. Do I have to go through this somehow? Yeah, so this has got me in a weird place at this point without showing me how to navigate out of here. I want to exit the editor. I don't want to publish. I want to unpublish actually, but it doesn't give me that option. Edit Square support. Yeah, it keeps looping me right back to this. definitely annoying there. Oh, maybe, I wonder, since I haven't re-logged in yet, I don't even know how to get back to the beginning. Maybe I've got an email from them, from the account that I created at the very beginning of this video. Maybe I don't. Oh, not seeing anything actually. That's kind of weird too. Well, funny. Site design, that doesn't do it. Where did I go originally? Sell online. Maybe I've got to go back all the way to square.com. Try to log in there somewhere. Maybe it already has me logged in, which is a small benefit here. And again, we got the spinny thing of death. Now, if you do hire somebody to work on your site, this is one of the things you don't want to pay for. The person that you hired to look at that spinny thing of death. Because this doesn't take forever, but if you're wasting 30 to 60 seconds in between button clicks, and maybe paying them $100 an hour or $50 an hour or $5 an hour, whatever it is, that's money down the drain just to look at to pay them to look at a system that's going slow. Alright, so let's see. Activate, take payments and Square. So one of my questions here is, how do I take it offline? Apparently clicking the button just, oh, more spinny things of death. Accepting orders, which is something I want to change. I don't want to edit the site. That'll take me to the site editor, I suspect. This says publish your site. Ready to publish? No, I want to unpublish. Check out tracking tools. Can I just click on this? Apparently this is a button and not a label. I got this Weebly stuff up here, and so maybe when I wasn't paying attention, Square bought Weebly, or vice versa. Accepting online orders. Not accepting online orders. Not yet. Okay, so don't have any policies yet. More things I need to consider. Phone number, advanced settings, checkout mode, add to cart. Kind of surprised they allowed me to publish the site without having some of that stuff in place. Maybe I need to put like a coming soon thing at the top if I can't find a way to unpublish. Then send them a ticket saying, how do I unpublish? I need to get my address in there, because I haven't put one in. So, stuff they will need later, my phone number and all that good stuff, notifications, tracking tools, photo studios, sales channels, communications, marketing, reporting, fulfillment, all that great big list of in-depth things are up here. It's got checkout, but how do I get paid from these guys? It's great if Square's got the ability to take somebody's money for my stuff. Doesn't do me a lot of good if I don't have a way to receive payment. So, for example, I've got a Cash App account. How do I get somebody paying me via their Cash App account to have cash come to me? I don't know. Maybe I've got to do some verification first. And customer accounts is one of those things you have to upgrade for, which might make it easy if somebody wants to buy a second thing. Well, at this point, I've dove into the rabbit hole, set up a website, and got things going, and lots more questions, not done by a long shot, but made some progress. Here's something for balance. I would like to see that last thing of how do I get paid. It's always important to make sure you know that last key ingredient before really committing the time to loading in all those items and setting the categories and creating the policies, things that really build out a site. If you can't get paid from it all, don't do it. If you don't know how to get paid from it all, don't do it until you know how. There's other things you can learn on the go, but that's not one where you want to fool with it or have it be stuck, or who knows what kind of verification you might need ahead of time. Square checking new. So I could link a bank account. I could set up a Square checking account. I don't have one of those. So I've got some work to do there, and that happens in the balance section. Don't know if it's, since it's a bank account, I could use like the routing number and account number from a Cash App bank account, or I could use what I consider to be my real bank account, or something other than that. But all things for me to consider next. Where do I want the cash to go? And that's the place to do it. So looks like Square probably sits on my funds that are collected from sales until I withdraw and transfer them out. Important to know. There's probably a lot more details that are important to know about how fast and what size of a transfer can you get, and even more. So enough for now. Long enough video. Lots of details in there. First impressions, and I'm going to be doing something similar on Shopify next. Later I'll probably be parsing out this video with some item by item comparisons. So there'll be the long videos, but then there'll be some short videos stacking up each little thing from one system to the next to compare it.